Foreseen beyond time. We left off by St. Clair. We left off at chapter 7 on page 62. So we'll continue where we'll just reread the beginning of this page. 62, chapter 7, which is entitled... chapter 8, I'm sorry, we're in chapter 8. H. Hatch. New Mind Technologies. This is the Master of Light speaking now at the beginning here in the interview with Tatiana. No one is to blame for this condition of ignorance. Mankind is being mankind. Manny is being Manny. There is an evolutionary element unfolding within a long process of allowing the humanoid species to achieve the scientific discovery of the higher dimensions from which all life is woven. The Nordic Blondes, the Andromedans, and their Pleiadian allies made these discoveries long ago, as did the Syrians, albeit long ago is to them what is to us, what to us is our faraway future. It is multidimensional. This timeless journey of mankind originated from the stars. The hidden encoded purpose is finding its way forward to its ultimate goal, and it is this purpose that now seeks to articulate itself in the hearts and minds of all of you who are incarnate at this time and watching this interview. The discovery of man's ability to time travel will open the door to even more wonderful discoveries about the human soul and the true purpose of mankind. Ahead of this, New Mind Technologies is activating a more ancient discovery that does not require physical technology other than the human mind. However, the mind that is able to make use of this inner purpose has to come face to face with its own stillness. Like a deep pool of water, untouched by the currents and ripples of time, the still mind conveys to the individual the essential purpose and instills in them an understanding of their place in that purpose. This was the essential meaning of the Tao, and those Taoists, who successfully applied this stillness were, and still are, accomplished time travelers. The newly awakened mind will understand the depths of its own roots and beyond. People will awaken to their purpose. The mind is the key. The physical technology follows after. There will be many new and some very severe tests that will assail humanity throughout the 21st century. Some of the changes will be more profoundly earth-shaking and much more personally uprooting. However, we can track these tests ahead of time via the alignments the planets quite clearly make to one another. World leaders will draw an artificial line between good and evil and seek to eradicate the evil. And in every instance, the target will only extend further and further into the deep recesses of obscurity and decentralization. No physical technology can stop or advance this process. There is an ultimate strategy for all life-bearing planets. Like the Tao, it is moving and changing in ways that can only make man wonder and be inspired by the complexity of its design. The only stability inherent to the grand plan is the ultimate goal. The voyage itself weaves, accelerates, and sometimes even reverses in direction. The goal, as you might wonder about it, is to create a highly advanced being who can work with the Force. It is the Force that extends to mankind the capacity of time travel. When we stop fighting with ourselves... sorry, I missed a part. I have here a quote that more accurately describes this process of unfragmented consciousness. He said as he began to read to the world, "When we stop fighting with ourselves, we aren't creating any more conflict in our mind. Then our mind can, for the first time, relax and be still. Then for the first time, our consciousness can become whole and unfragmented. Then total attention can be given to all of our thoughts and feelings. And then there will be found a gentleness and a goodness in us that can embrace all that has been given in the world. It is a deep love for everything. Then a deep love for everything will be the result of this deep attention. For this total attention, this soft and pure consciousness that we are, is nothing but love itself." That was a quote there. That right there in italics. And who was it from? This was by Krishnamurti. Your own teacher and friend, Tatyana Yurasova added. A truly amazing man. So this concept you're introducing of action without thought, choiceless awareness, and the ending of conflict you just quoted, can you elaborate more on the relevance of this to the current situation worldwide? We are basically running out of time now, both on Earth and on this TV show. As the master of time Saturn dissolved its opposition to Neptune in 2007, worldly affairs received clarification. During the Saturn-Uranus opposition in 2009, we entered the phase of the actual countdown to 2013. This was published in 2007, and we are currently in 2018 already. This phase lasted 1 decade, the convergence zone, until about 2017 to 18, 2012 to 2013 being the midpoint. Quote, the social engineering and controlled disorder techniques, legal black magic in the form of thought control used by secret governments all over the world will become evident as the Pluto-Uranus square builds more tightly by the middle of 2015. By 2026, when Neptune enters Aries, things change at first very subtly, then later abruptly. It is indeed possible that entire lakes disappear overnight. Where flatlands once were, the next morning mountain ranges appear, and entire islands vanish, while land rises again from below the ocean. This will not only be due to massive quakes, it will happen because of interdimensional vortex holes in the fabric of reality. This phenomenon is typical of Neptune meets Saturn in 2025. Some of us will feel as if we entered a mirage or a time portal. Pluto was in line of the galactic center in 2006 when these time portals began opening in some undefined places, such as the mirages photographed in China after the typhoons. This galactic center event happens once every 250 years, and the last 2 windows in time were in 1760 when Halley Comet was discovered, and in 1514 when Copernicus first observed Saturn, my home planet. It rules Capricorn. Capricorn rules time travel. It is the slice of the cosmos associated with transpersonal considerations, society as a whole, and we investigate the workings of inner governments and the subjects of hidden social manipulation, programs used by dark forces trying to rule the world in its meltdown phase. As I predicted, there will be much more disclosure on many extremely interesting subjects, ranging from human hybrid genetics, reversed engineering, the hidden role of NASA, to alien source technology and the true search for extraterrestrial intelligence. This is something scientist Dr. Jerry Zeitlin has commented on for years after the first book by Anton Parks, Le Secret des Étoiles Sombres, appeared in France. The publishing and dissemination of new ideas is currently undergoing a major revolution. Before this, The Morning of the Magicians presented similar revolutionized questions 50 years ago, and again it was France that led this information revolution in terms of free expression of thought. The disclosure is perhaps overlooked due to its simplicity. We came from the stars and we are guiding ourselves back to the stars from our own future. Planet Earth is not our original home. Until now we have shared the planet with fallen races that managed to enslave mankind, and will soon leave them behind as the Earth cleans up the resulting mess. As NORAD Strategic Space Command Center, SSCC in Wyoming, the phones did not work. At NORAD Strategic Space Command Center, SSCC in Wyoming, the phones did not work, military installations had gone dark, and around all global communications networks, pandemonium had broken out as Tatyana Yurasova's Safe Place Earth appeared mysteriously all over the TV network broadcasting systems worldwide. At the same time, thousands of disc-shaped spacecrafts had been sighted over towns and cities all over the world. No one connected to the media system had dared to officially report this phenomenon. It was a standing joke between dedicated researchers about mass media versus reality. Millions of people in all countries were bypassing the censorship as they shared the mass sightings news, sending photos and videos via iPhones and Blackberries. The internet was broadcasting coverage of the daylight phenomena as craft appeared brightly lit over the city of Moscow. Tatiana resumed her interview unfazed as news of the sightings was flooding in. Can you give me an outline of what will actually happen in both the inner mind landscape and the outer world as society comes to terms with this mysterious reality we are now witnessing around the world? That's a question from Tatiana to the Master of Light. The Master of the Light chose his words carefully, speaking with measured intent. Quote, "The mirror between the inner state of mind and the outer manifestation of world events is the subtle way in which we can see the actual developmental stage of mankind, and in turn this activity is mirrored by the planets, making it readable ahead of its time. How people observe the strange phenomenon manifesting now on planet Earth is more important than the phenomenon itself. Human beings will eventually come to understand that they themselves are inwardly part of the outer phenomenon they are observing. When humans comprehend this subtle truth, they will instantly become masters of their own reality." The studio broadcast cut to images of the silent discs and cigar-shaped crafts appearing in the skies, hovering far above the watching mind of man on planet Earth. Man, that's the end of Chapter 8. The next one is Chapter 9, page 67, The Unseen Conflict, the Spiral Ritual, Spear Ritual, Spiral Ritual, Spiritual. Until next time, namaste.